My name is Bert, and this is the Still Life Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the Still Life Podcast. As always, my name is Bert, and I am your host. It is Friday, the 21st of May, 2021, and although I may seem like I'm excited, I'm wiped out. Spent the day fishing with a friend of mine, got out on his boat, and spent the day on the water, and it was fantastic. And while I am absolutely exhausted, it was great to get on the water, relax, and really recharge my batteries. And as odd as that seems that I'm exhausted yet I've been recharged, it's quite frankly the case. You know, being outside, it wasn't really sunny, it was overcast today, a little breezy, but just being outside with a friend on the water, fishing, it was relaxing. My brain needed it, my body needed it, my soul needed today to happen. So yeah, we got out on the water just after 9 o'clock this morning and fished until about 2:30 this afternoon. So a long session on the water. And again, it wasn't like super hot, super sunny. It was actually quite nice out. It was overcast. There was a nice breeze blowing on the water. And it was just relaxing in every sense. I'm going to sleep hopefully like a freaking champ tonight. I've struggled the last several nights and had a kidney stone on the move the last 24 hours, so it's been quite uncomfortable. So I was up about every hour last night, just kind of tossing and turning, trying to get comfortable. So between that and just being outdoors all day, I am completely wiped out and ready for bed. I will be picking up my kiddos here in just a little bit, so I'll get them home, get them settled, bathed, ready for bed, and we'll just kind of chill for a little bit. I'll get them to bed, and I will be right behind them. I'll turn the TV on. I doubt I'll even watch any of it. I will probably pass out as soon as I get it turned on and get comfortable in bed, but that's totally okay. And you know, even though it wasn't the best day of fishing, I think I caught 5 fish today in total. Really nice crappie and about a 3-pound largemouth. Really, it wasn't super productive, but when I'm out there on the water fishing, I really don't care because I'm outside doing something that I greatly enjoy doing, and I was spending time with a good friend that also just needed a break and needed to unwind. So really, even though it wasn't a productive fishing day, it was a productive mental health day for the both of us. And really, that's the most important part. And you know, even though I'm absolutely exhausted, I feel great. I feel super relaxed, very much at peace and calm. Right now, all is right in my world, and I couldn't be happier. And that's been one of the things really in the last 7 months that I've been unemployed that I've really learned and discovered about myself is that regardless of what I end up doing job-wise, career-wise, I have to take time for myself. Now, that can be going out and fishing, that can be laying in bed watching movies, or sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter. I have to make spending time by myself or for myself a priority in my life, something I haven't done in the last 20 years spent in the workforce, is I put my job before everything and then my family, and I never really gave myself the time I needed to maintain my mental, spiritual, emotional health. And so I have learned that I have absolutely got to do that. Now, that doesn't always mean not doing anything or going out and doing a hobby. Sometimes that means serving other people. And I think that's something that oftentimes we overlook as we take time out for ourselves. Sometimes doing something for other people, in fact, recharges us and kind of fills us up mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's something I think that's important to remember. Again, getting back to the conversation that I had earlier in the week about not just being a consumer, you know, putting value into other people, pouring into other people can be just as rewarding mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and even sometimes physically. And so we need to make sure that we don't discount. Sometimes, in order to recharge our batteries, we really need to serve and pour ourselves into other people. Now, when we do those types of service for other people, we need to make sure that we are doing those for the right reason. If we're going to do those things, we shouldn't go out and shout it from the rooftops, "Oh, I went and helped these people. I did this for these people and this for that person and this for that person." That's not what it's about. Because really, when you do that, you've stripped away all of the value from the actions that you engaged in. And so when you are involved in acts of service or helping other people, do it and be done with it. It's one thing to tell your friends or tell someone, "Oh, yeah, I did this over the weekend," or "the other day I helped this group or did this." It's another thing to use that to inflate your ego or your sense of self-worth or your value to other people. "Oh, I did all these great things, so you should think more of me," or "that makes me a really valuable person," or an amazing person, or a great person, whatever. No, not necessarily. There's a lot of terrible people that do really good things every once in a while. That doesn't make them good people. They're still terrible people. So it's important to remember that when we do those things, good deeds for the most part are better left unspoken. And I feel like a lot of times that piece is overlooked, or we're just so quick to inflate our own ego that we tell everybody about it and shout it from the rooftops, which, again, I don't believe we should do. Now, like I said, I'm completely exhausted. I could ramble on about this for another 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes even, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to end it here and maybe take a little bit of a nap before I go pick the kids up here in just a little while. So as always, I want to thank you for joining me today on the Still Life Podcast. As always, for questions, comments, topic ideas, or suggestions, or to become a sponsor of the Still Life Podcast, you can email us, thestilllifepodcast@gmail.com. That's thestilllifepodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget, we're available on Spotify, YouTube, Audible, Google Podcasts, and others. So make sure you like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate your patronage and support. So thanks again for joining me on the Still Life Podcast, and we'll talk again soon.